All right, howdy guys. Today we're doing Leetcode Question number 2331. Evaluate Boolean binary tree. You are given the root of a full binary tree with the following properties. Leaf nodes have either value 0 or 1, where 0 represents false and 1 represents true. Non-leaf nodes have either value 2 or 3, where 2 represents the Boolean OR and 3 represents the Boolean AND. The evaluation of a node is as follows. If the node is a leaf node, the evaluation is the value of the node, i.e. true or false. Otherwise, evaluate the node's two children and apply the Boolean operation of its value with the children's evaluations. Return the Boolean result of evaluating the root node. A full binary tree is a binary tree where each node has either 0 or 2 children. A leaf node is a node that has 0 children. Okay, so if we look here, the main thing to remember here is 0 and 1 represents false and true. 2 and 3 represents OR and. So as we can see here, since our leaf node is true, since this is representing true, there's no children node under this leaf node. So what's cool is we can go up and then, okay, so this is true. We go back up and we go to the right and we have an AND operator. So this represents the number 3 as stated here. So since this represents the number 3, we know that this is going to have a child operator or children nodes. From there, we can look at what the values are here. Now, in order to get the evaluation of this, we pretty much plug this in as any other Boolean operator. So since we have false and true, we know that this is going to equate to false because in order for this, because using this operator, it has to be both. It can't be one or the other. So both conditions have to be true for it to equal true. So since we have one false here, this node equals false. So if we move to the right here, now we don't have this logical operator anymore. So now we just have true or false and false. So now we do the equation true or false. So since it's an OR Boolean operator, what we're going to do is we're going to return true because it's either or. So it's either true or false. We just need one condition to be true and then we get true. Okay. And so that's pretty much how we solve this. We're going to use recursion here. It seems like every time there's a tree node, you kind of want to look into recursion. Since we're going to be using recursion, we want to make sure that we get the edge cases first. So like here, for example, so if we look at example number 2, root equals 0, false. The root node is a leaf node and it evaluates to false. So we return false. So let's go ahead and let's take care of the edge cases first, or the node evaluations first. So we're going to do root. So if root val is equal to 0, then we know that it's going to be equal to false. Okay, and then if the root value, oops, goodness gracious. If root value equals 1, then we're going to return true. All right, so next we got to do if our root val is equal to 2. Now, if our root val is equal to 2, then that means that this is a OR operator. So this represents the OR operator here. So what we want to do is we know that this is going to have children since it's an OR operator. So we want to check what these other two values are. So we're going to create a bool variable, and we're just going to call this left. And so what we're going to do is we're going to call our function again to get the result to get the value for this bool operation. And then what we're going to do root and then left. Okay. And next we're going to do it for right. So we're going to pretty much do the same thing here, but for the right side. All right. So at first, this might seem a bit confusing, but what's really happening is, so we're gonna start at our root node. What the computer is gonna do is gonna check, okay, what is the value of root val? And then if it's equal to 0, we're just gonna return false. If it's equal to 1, we just return true. If either of these aren't the case, then we're gonna go ahead and check if it's equal to 2, which represents our OR operator. We're going to go ahead and we're going to rerun this function again. So what's going to happen is we're going to go just loop through this again. So instead of starting here at the root node, we're going to start here at one of the child nodes. And so this is going to look at this, and it's going to try to get the Boolean result of both of these. And so how we get the result of both these Boolean values is because of these conditions we have up here. So if the value of this is equal to 0, which is false, it's going to equal to false. It's going to return false. So our Boolean will now be false. And then the same goes with the right node here. We're going to look at this. It's going to be, since this is true, it's going to equal 1. So since this value is equal to 1, we're going to represent this to true. So that's why we're going to store this result into true. All right, and so what we're going to do with these two results, we're going to go ahead and return. What we're going to do here, this makes it just a lot easier. We're going to use a ternary operator. So here, let me write it out first. It's going to be a bit confusing if you've never seen it before. So since this is a OR operator, we're going to use the OR operator here. So whatever the result of these two variables, if it's true, then we're going to return true, and then if it's false, it's going to return false. So a good way to look at this is, are these two what I think they are? Question mark. It's like you're asking a question like, huh? Is left true or is right true? All right, if it's true, then we're going to do true, and then the colon. Our colon here represents else, and then if it's not, then it's false. So that's one way to memorize this. So, huh? Oh, okay. That's not it. So what if we run into a 3 variable, an and variable? So since we don't have that condition set yet, we need to go ahead and set that. So we could just easily just copy this over, paste it. And then instead of 2, we're going to do 3. And then instead of the OR operators, we're going to do the AND operator. And so this pretty much gives us our answer here. Now, let's go ahead and, since we have this if statement, we're just going to, for the else, we're going to return false. This will definitely never get met. This condition will never get met, but just to make the compiler happy, we throw this in here. And so yeah, that's pretty much how this works. This is how I came up with this solution. Let's go ahead and run this. Oh, compile error. I spelled this wrong. Let's just go ahead and copy this over. Just make it a bit easier on ourselves and we don't have to look. I think these should be fine too. Yep, these are fine too. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and run it. Got all greens. And all right, and then that should be it. So yeah, so this was my interpretation or my answer of the Leetcode question. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. So yeah, hopefully you guys have an awesome day. Adios.